Hey everyone, it's Carrie from Carrie's Wreath Creations. Happy Saturday. I am a few minutes late, so I'm going to give people a chance to find us and hop on. I meant to go live about 10 minutes ago, and unfortunately, what happened was I got on Facebook Live and they apparently updated all the settings and where to find things, so I had a little bit of trouble figuring out how to switch my camera around and some other things, but I think I'm good to go now. I did find a fun new feature that I had not seen before, which was letting me feature a link. So one of the things that happens a lot when I do these projects is I have people asking where I got my supplies from. So I'm not sure where it's showing up, but there should be a link somewhere, not sure where. That is to my affiliate shop for Unique in the Creek, because we are going to be using a Unique in the Creek wing board and a insect body to make our butterfly today. So I'm gonna just give people a second to find us. I will start by just telling you what we're going to use for supplies. So we are going to use the Unique in the Creek wing board, okay? And I've already preloaded. I actually bought this as a kit, just as sort of a side thing here. I bought this as a kit. It came with the board, the zip ties, the insect body, and all the deco mesh that I'm going to be using. I bought it from Monkey's Creations. I cannot say whether or not it's still available or not, but you can buy definitely the board and the insect body from Unique in the Creek using my affiliate link. And then the deco mesh, I mean, you can definitely use whatever, you can check out Unique in the Creek. They always have deco mesh there. There's lots of other places you can buy it as well. But any color combinations that you might want to work with. We're going to be doing the black, the purple, and the pink today. Hello to everyone watching. I am not sure if you're going to be able to hear the wind at the window behind me. It is like rattling. It's crazy windy here in Charlotte. So yeah, supplies. So I have my wing board already loaded with zip ties. I'll tell you where they are in just a second. We'll go over where I placed those zip ties. And I did watch a tutorial video. If you're just joining, I got the kit that I'm using from Monkey's Creations. So she put this together and I'm kind of following, I think, the same pattern that she did with her colors and things like that. The insect body is also from, it was part of the kit, but you can get these at Unique in the Creek. You will want to, I'm not sure when you go on this site, I'm not exactly sure what category it's under, but what you can do is just type insect body into the search bar and that will come up, but that's what we're going to use for our little butterfly body, okay? And then I do have my deco mesh. It's already cut, but let me grab the roll so you can see exactly what I'm using. So it came with, I'm using 3. This is just the black, the deco poly mesh. So it's black and it has like a black sort of, not really metallic, but like a shiny strand through it. This is how much is left. I did cut a total of 24 pieces, I believe. So I still have a little bit left. I'm also going to be using this purple, which again is just called deco poly mesh. And this has a nice, like a little bit, I think, wider than the black kind of metallic stripe in it to give our butterfly some shine. And then I'm going to be using this pink, a little less of the pink than anything else. And that is just called metallic mesh. It's got a metallic thread running through that as well. So I do have a lot of my petals already made. Looks like people are starting to find us. Hello to everyone that is watching. So we are going to get started here. So other supplies that I have that I'm going to use this because I'm going to be rolling my petals, and this is going to make my petals be kind of the same, I don't know what the word is, but we're going to roll them using this so that they all are kind of the same all the way around. I do have some scissors in case I need to cut off any fraying. I did just use my rotary cutter to cut the mesh. I did not wood burn it. I also have a clip on hand, and I have my black pipe cleaners, which I will be using for my insect body. This is going to be last. We'll put this aside for now. Okay, so let's get started. So the way we're going to do this butterfly is we're going to do some black on the outside. We're going to be doing kind of a mixture of pink and purple. On the inside here, we'll use a little bit of more black to sort of break it all up. And then, so on our board, then we'll put the insect body, the butterfly body right there in the middle. So I've preloaded, and I did load, this is my first time using the wing board from Unique in the Creek, so I do have to kind of watch where I'm at. So I did not use row 1, which was just the single holes. Okay. I did load every set of holes in row 2, every pair of holes in row 3. Yep, that's row 3. I didn't use these extra holes. And then I did load everything in row 4, which is kind of this right here, okay? And then row 5, which is the inside here, I did every pair of holes and every set of shared holes except for the top. And that's because when I put my body on there, the head's going to be here. We don't need to have petals shooting out of his head. So we're not going to put a petal there, okay? But everywhere else, yes. And because I watched a tutorial and kind of like the way she had laid out the colors, I do have some chicken scratch on here telling me where I want to put my petals. But, you know, with butterflies, you can use any 3 colors that you want. You can change this around. I got 3 full rolls of mesh, so I could have changed it up and I'm doing a little bit more heavy on the purple than the pink. But you could, change that around or however you want. You could use all one kind of mesh, however you want. So let's get started. So this is just a 10 by 10 piece of the deco mesh that I cut with a rotary cutter. I'm going to be using this this is actually just the inside of a roll of mesh. So you get your roll of mesh and it's attached to this. That's all this is. It's nothing fancy. Just what is inside the roll of deco mesh, or really any kind of mesh, honestly. I mean, they're all wound around something, and that's what this is. So I'm going to take we're going to be doing a rolled petal, and we're going to be doing 2 petals per zip tie. Okay. So I'm taking my 10 by 10. I am just, of course, keeping track. It's not that imperative in this petal, but here are my factory edges, and then these are the edges where I've cut. And I'm just going to keep that sort of consistent every time. So I'm just turning this into a diamond. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to be rolling from corner to corner. So what I want to do is kind of take this tip here and sort of line it up with where the middle of my my roll is, just to make so that my roll is nice and even. And then I'm just rolling just like this. And you don't want to do it too tight, because you want to then, when you get to the end, take your roll out. And so this is so you have like consistency with how you're rolling your mesh. You don't want some of them to look like tacos and some of them to look like burritos. You want them to all be sort of the same. So that's why we're using the roll. So here's my little end. I'm going to keep that sort of on the inside. This is where it ended. And then I'm just bringing this up just like this. Just kind of folding it in half. Just like that. And I'm going to clip it because I am going to be doing 2 petals per zip tie. So I need another piece of black. And again, 10 by 10 rotary cutter. I'm going to take my roll here down at this one corner. So I turned it into a diamond shape, and just sort of right in the middle of my roll is where I'm starting, and then just roll. And not too tight so that you can easily pull this out. And then fold this one in half, okay? And then what I'm going to be doing is taking my 2 pieces, just putting them side by side like this, okay? So it looks like that, okay? And then that's going to go right into my zip tie. And I'm working on row, well, this is the first row I'm doing, but it's row 2 on my board. So I'm going to put that in there and tighten that up, and just like that. My clippers. Okay, just like that. We're going to do all black on the outside here. So I'll show that petal roll again, and then we'll just start loading the ones that I've already done. So again, your 10 by 10, just cut with a rotary cutter, deco mesh. And what you want to do is turn it into a diamond shape. Find kind of the middle of your roll here, and then just start rolling. There's other ways I've seen people do butterflies where they do a different petal. Like I said, I watched a tutorial and I bought a kit I like the way she did when she showed the tutorial. I like the way she did it with the rolled petal, so that's why I'm doing it this way and not with any other kind of petal. So rolling this up. And you always have the option, if you wanted to cut your deco mesh with a wood burner, you always can. I mean, to me, there's not like really enough edge showing on this kind of petal to really justify the time it takes to cut it with a wood burning tool. We can just clip off any frays that happen. So, I mean, I think it's pretty minimal, and this is, you know, decent quality mesh. I would say out of all three, the purple seems the most sturdy, I guess. The black is kind of in between, and then the pink is a little bit on the thinner side. And it's like kind of hard to really, I think a lot of it has to do with how much of the metallic is running through it. You know, it just, I don't know. I'm not really sure, like, if it's made from something different, but I'm sure if you work with deco mesh, you kind of understand it's not all the same. Okay, so now we're just going to load some of my pre-made petals. So when I pre-made these, I did just put an elastic band on the edge to hold it together. I don't need to remove those. There's really no need to. They're going right under where the zip tie is. And so we have a total of 5 petals on this row 2. And again, the board is from Unique in the Creek. We're making a butterfly. So this wing board, you can do obviously the butterfly that we're doing. I've also seen it used for angel wings. I haven't actually ever made one of those myself, but some people do make wreaths that look like angel wings, and you know, you can dress those up with some sparkly mesh and florals and things like that. So that's what these boards are used for. There are other shapes of the boards too. So you've seen me use the round ones, obviously. There's a large and a small round one, and then there's a cross-shaped one, there's a triangle, there's this wing board. There's a couple other things that you can do different types of wreaths with. Okay, so that is our first set of petals. We're gonna kind of work this way, and then we'll go this way, and then we'll do the middle last. Hey, Bethany and Lydia, how are you guys? Okay, so now we're gonna start mixing in some of our color. So I'm going to, I'll admit I have to make probably 4 more petals, but I'm going to kind of wait and do that sort of in the middle. So if people join late, they can catch me making the petal. So the way I'm going to do this row 3 here is I'm going to do a purple, a pink, and then another purple. And again, you know, you come up with your own pattern on these. I'm following what I watched in the tutorial, and I liked the way it looked at the end, so that's why I'm following that. But you could do, you know, different colors. You can do all one kind of mesh. I saw a really pretty one that had, it was all orange and black, so it looked kind of like a monarch butterfly. That was really pretty. I've also seen patriotic ones. So yeah, the butterflies are pretty popular, a popular way to use these wing boards. Okay. So did anyone else have a situation like me where it's been like super nice weather? Like yesterday was 60 and today was, well, the high was 55, but that was at about 1 in the morning. It's just been getting colder and colder. So it's like frigid out there right now. And the wind is just, I had to actually, for I think only the second time ever, I actually took my wreath off my door because it actually blew off. That's how windy it is. My porch is pretty well covered. So yeah, I don't know if that's going on anywhere else, but weather here is a little bit crazy. All right, so that's row 3. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And so now we're going to work on, this is row 4. And so now we're really going to start mixing some colors. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do pink, and then I'm going to do a purple pink mixture. So I have some of these petals that have 1 purple and 1 pink. And then we are going to do, so it's going to be 2 of those and then a pink at the end. So start with our pink. I'm very glad it's not snowing, that's for sure. But yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. If I want to do, yeah, so I think I'm going to put it in so that I have my pinks, then I'm going to, trying to decide what I want here. I want to do all the pinks in a row. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. There's really no right or wrong way. Kind of just your own personal preference. Man, snow in Tennessee. Do you guys get a lot of snow there? I don't really know much about the weather in Tennessee, honestly. I know that it snowed up at my sister-in-law's up in Virginia today, and it's like not really normal for it to snow and sleet up there this time, especially once we get into March. Okay, so then for this one, I'm putting this in like opposite of the way I did this one because I want my purples to be together. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably forget when I get to the other side of what I did here, but that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. That one, and then ending with my double pink. Okay. All right. So, and I'm just kind of puffing these up a little bit once they're in there so that our butterfly won't end up looking too flattened. We don't want that. So just kind of bring those up. Okay. So I'm actually going to switch around now and work on the other side because then what I have left is row 5, which is the middle, and I just feel like I want to do that last. So I'm going to do this and put my black petals in first. So this is row 2 on the board. I'm putting my black petals in here. Hello, everybody. I love to see where everyone's from. So if you haven't already told me, tell me where you're watching from, and if you're having crazy wind and weird weather like we are here in North Carolina. It's really confusing for my poor dog. I have one who loves to be outside, and the sun did come out today, and but he was very confused when he went outside and like nearly got blown over by the wind because he thought, oh, it's sunny, it should be nice, I'm gonna go sit and watch everything go by in the yard, and then he lasted 5 minutes and came in, his ears were frozen. So poor guy. Like, yep, just because it looks like sunny and not raining doesn't mean it's nice. Oh, got people from all over. I'm in Charlotte, right outside of Charlotte, Concord, North Carolina. That's where I am at. Virginia. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Zach Snively, for letting me know that you are also in Charlotte. He would be downstairs in my house. That's my husband watching. Okay. All right, so let's fluff these up a little bit. Make sure they're not looking too flattened. Okay. Okay. So we are going to now be doing purple, pink, and then purple. So I will go ahead and fold 2 petals here. Well, I have to do 4, but 2 full. I'm doing 2 petals per zip tie. So if you joined late and didn't watch me do this before, we are just using 10 by 10 deco mesh, and I just cut it with a rotary cutter. Okay, this purple, I really like this. I mean, I don't know, like I said, when you look at the labels, sometimes it's hard to know, you know, what the quality is going to be, but it has this nice sort of wider stripe metallic, and it's like a little bit thicker, I guess, definitely thicker than the pink. The pink is a little bit on the flimsier side, but that kind of helps me sort of know this is going to keep its shape and not fray too much. Okay, you're near Camp Lejeune. I lived right near Camp Lejeune for 5 years before we moved here. So here are my factory edges and my cut edges, and I'm just going to put it down and turn it into a diamond shape. I am just using the inside of a roll of deco mesh, and I'm using this so that I can fold evenly roll evenly my petals so that some of them don't look like taquitos and some of them look like burritos. We're trying to keep them all looking consistent. So I put this down at the corner. Okay, take the corner of my mesh and just sort of make sure it's sort of lined up with the corner, or with the middle, excuse me, of my roll here. And then I just roll. And I'm doing this not too tight because I need to be able to pull out the piece of the cardboard roll when I'm done. And then I have this little, this is where I ended, and that's just right where I'm going to fold it so that the little edge is kind of safely tucked in here. Okay. And I'm going to clip this because I am doing 2 pieces per zip tie to make this nice and full. So again, take my mesh, turn it into a diamond, take my roll, and find the middle kind of, and then just start rolling. So I have seen with this petal style, so I have not used this for a flower, but I have seen some really pretty flowers with this technique, this way of making the petals. So maybe at some point I will give that a try. I just don't really have, actually, I don't really have a whole lot of deco mesh. I just kind of stopped using it. So I don't really have a whole lot on hand, and I don't think I'd want to waste poly burlap with this rolled technique. I mean, you certainly could, but I just don't think I would. I don't know. Personal preference. Okay, so then I just put my 2 petals next to each other, just like this. And I am going to then put it into my zip tie. Kind of this being a little bit big here. I might hopefully don't run out of room, but that's why I kind of made a bunch of petals early on, so that way as my board gets more full, I don't need really the workspace. I just need to put them right into the board. Okay, so there's that. Nice to see people from all over on this Saturday evening. Had kind of a lazy day myself. I ended up kind of staying in my pajamas till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No, what did I do? I don't even know. Just did some stuff around the house and went grocery shopping. Watched a movie with my husband right before this. Trying to read a book for my book club. I'm in a book club at work. I used to read a lot, and as I got more into crafting, I have not read nearly as much as I used to. So I thought, well, I mean, it's not that I don't like reading, so I need to get more back into it, and I thought joining the book club would sort of force me into doing that. So last month was the first month. And we read a book called Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't know if anyone else has read that book, but it's hard to say I liked it. I mean, I read it really quick. I couldn't put it down. It was one of those kind of books, but it was very sort of a little bit dark and disturbing. So I'm not sure if I can really say I liked it. Seems like the wrong choice of words. I don't know if anyone else has read that book and can weigh in, but it's called Verity by Colleen Hoover. And so I read that one in like a matter of, I don't know, 4 days maybe. And so, we had our little discussion about it, and then we voted on the book for this month. And this month we're reading something called The Guest List by, I want to say it's by Lucy somebody. It's supposed to be sort of like Agatha Christie-esque with like some kind of a whodunit and a whole bunch of suspects. These people are all at a wedding on this like otherwise deserted island. I don't know. It's taking me a really long time to get into it, but I've had it checked out from the digital library for 2 weeks, and I need to get that, either return it or hurry up and finish it. So I did spend some time today reading. It was okay. I'm still not really into the book. The wreath, I know I saw a comment go by. This form is from Unique in the Creek. It is the wing board. If you check my pinned post on my Facebook page, I do have affiliate links listed there. So I have Unique in the Creek. I have Mel's Crafty Mojo. Those, I buy a lot of my mesh from Mel's Crafty Mojo. And there is a coupon code in the pinned post for both of those places. And then I also have, I just added an Amazon affiliate shop. So things that you would find in there would be like zip ties and like where I get my cutting mat and just like those kinds of things, little odds and ends, clippers, scissors, rotary cutters, all that is listed in the Amazon shop. My wood burning tool, like I get things that I get asked a lot, like where do I get this or that? That's what I put into the affiliate shop. So you can check those out in the pinned post on my page. Okay, so let me remember what I did here with my purple pinks. So I'm going to do pink going this way. And I do earn just like a very small commission from you using my affiliate links. You know, it's pretty minimal, but I like to make sure I'm transparent about that. I do not make any money whatsoever from Facebook or any other social media or YouTube or any of those things at the moment for any of the tutorials that I do. Hoping to maybe change that, but there's not a whole lot I can do except to just keep doing it and hope people keep watching. But this is all free content. I don't get paid at all for any of this. Okay, so let's see. I got everything going the way I wanted to, so I got one last pink one to put in here. So I am trying to work on, I know some people, if you're on my Facebook page, you know I post pretty much every day. I post something, and I posted that picture of the daffodil that I made last weekend. That was like my alone project that I did because it was my first time doing it and I needed to watch a tutorial and all that good stuff. And let me just tell you, it came out to be 30 inches. It was humongous. I don't like making my wreaths that big. I like the way it turned out, but I don't think I would make another one because I don't even have, I will have to figure out a box to ship that in if I sell it. So I am trying to figure out how to adapt that into a smaller, just a smaller wreath. So that's hopefully coming. I got to figure that out. I have some ideas. I just haven't actually sat down and messed around with the board and the mesh and all that stuff. Definitely a beautiful wreath. I watched a tutorial from Unique in the Creek. It went according to plan. Whatever she said to do, I did, and it worked out fine, but it's just, to me, too big for me. Okay, so now we're on row 5. And again, so to show you what we're working on for row 5, this is row 5. So I'm using every set of holes. So the ones that are drilled together, so that would be this, there's like 4 sets of holes. And then we're going to be doing shared holes. So what I did was I ran a zip tie between the kind of non-matching set. I did that everywhere except for the very top. This is the top, okay? These are my, I probably will hang it from here. So those are the holes I'm going to use for hanging, or I could hang from there too. Actually, it's going to depend on where my insect body lays. But this I'm leaving open because that's where the head is going, so we don't need to have petals coming out the top. So what I'm doing on the inside is I'm going to be breaking up some of this color with some more black. And you know, when you see a butterfly, it's kind of like they have like the two, like, what do you want to call it? Like they have their wings, and then it's like, especially when you're looking at a monarch, they're kind of like in sections. So we're going to use the black for that. So I'm going to do mostly purple, but then a bit of black. So this is going to be purple up here. Again, if you're joining and you're like, what, how does she know where she's putting these colors? It's because I watched a tutorial. I bought this as a kit, and I'm essentially following exactly what was done by the person who did the tutorial. That was Michelle from Monkey's Creations, and I did buy the kit from her, and I just liked the way hers turned out. So I'm just following what she did, but you can certainly lay these colors out in whatever way you would want. The board and the body that we're going to use are Unique in the Creek items, stamped with their name on the back, so that's where you could find those things. And the mesh, you can certainly get that there as well, but there's other places you can also shop for deco mesh. And if you're, you know, looking for specific colors, you can do this in any combination of colors you'd want. So get this in here. Okay. And I'm just pulling some of these petals up a bit just so they're not so flattened in here. Make sure we get some little bit of volume, I guess, if you will. Just like that. Okay. And we just have, is it 3 more, 4 more, 4 more to go. Okay, so this is the very bottom that I'm putting in right now. So this is the bottom of our butterfly. And get this in here. Thanks for everyone for watching. If you're not, you're obviously on Facebook now, but if you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, be sure to hop over there and subscribe. I do put content on there that does not go on Facebook. I am trying to grow my subscribers there. So go over there and subscribe, and anytime you're on YouTube, if you're a subscriber, it'll hopefully let you know when there's new content on there. So I do put some videos on there that don't go anywhere else. So the most recent one I posted was what? Oh, I made the leaf, the veined leaf petal. So if you watch me make the daisy, I put some leaves on the daisy, and I had prepped the petals ahead of time and didn't show how I made them, but I use an iron and kind of fold a crease down the middle of the petal, make my leaf look a little more lifelike. So I did post that video on how I do that on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. There's some other things on there that aren't on Facebook as well. I show some of my flower center techniques are on there too. So if you're looking for ways to make flower centers that don't involve, I like to try to make my own whenever I can. I mean, sometimes I find really great, really beautiful pre-made centers, and I will use those, but I like to make my centers whenever I can. And sometimes that's just, doing some sort of cording on a styrofoam ball, and then sometimes I try to come up with some new things. So I have a burlap flower, little rosette thing that I did. That's posted, as well as there's one that is another little rosette made out of felt. Very inexpensive. So yeah, those are on there too. I just, I don't repost every single one of my Facebook lives on YouTube, but some of them I do. Okay, so let's just get these, pull these up a little bit so that they're not too flat. Okay. And I mean, there's a couple little frays here and there that I'll just snip off with my scissors, but not too bad, honestly. For the deco mesh that I used was fairly decent quality, so we're not seeing too much fray happen. Okay, so here's what we have. It's looking like, it looks like wings for sure, I think. But as soon as we get that insect body on there, we will see the butterfly emerge, sort of. Okay, so, okay. All right, so here's my insect body. It is from Unique in the Creek. Has their logo up here. And then it's got these little, whatever you want to call them, where I'm going to run my pipe cleaners through, I believe. I actually have not used one of these before. I think this should work. I think you can use zip ties too, or you might actually, I think this will be fine. I think what's going to happen is when I put this through, if this isn't long enough to wind it in the back, I might need to use 2 of them. I don't know, we'll see. But the mesh will hide these little brackets. I don't know what they're called. But anyways, and I made sure I had black because just in case for some reason it's not hidden well enough. Okay, so now I got to figure out where these are going to go through. Oops. Okay. So I think I am going to, all right, so I'm going to use these, you probably can't really see, but like these holes up here were my pink ones from row, I think that's 4 are, that's where the top's going to go. And the bottom, I'm going to go aim for right here. for where the bottom's gonna go through. So I don't know if there's one's better to do first than the other, but let's see how this goes. Actually, yeah, okay, well, we're gonna give this a whirl. We might have to detach and start over. I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but let's see what happens. Okay, whoops. So I'm just putting my pipe cleaners through, and when I'm done, I'll flip it over so you can see on the back where I put them exactly. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I have a feeling that I might need to make some adjustments once I get the bottom two through. So I'm not going to wind it, I'm not going to wind it all up if I'm going to have to go back and fix it, because I might need to. Why does it seem like it's off center? Maybe because it is off center. Okay, let me just pull it more. I think it's maybe just because I didn't pull it tight enough yet. Okay, that's a little better. We'll fix it at the end here if we need to. Okay, and then my bottom is going through right here. So that one, and then my last one here. I think this is the hardest part so far. This right here, I think is my hardest part that I'm doing. And okay, all right, so got that pulled through. Let me just make sure. So then I'm gonna try to hide these little nubbies here behind the mesh a little bit. There we go. Okay, so get that hidden right there. Okay, and so I'm just pulling my mesh out from sort of underneath here, because that's going to help hide those little bracket things. And yeah, okay, there we go. For some reason the top ones are pretty well hidden, the bottom ones. I'll probably mess around with this some more, especially once I get it hanging. But for right now, I think this gets done what we need to get done. So I went and put them, they're right here at the top, these top two right here. And then the bottom ones right here. And there's our butterfly. I kind of think I might like this one hanging at a little bit of an angle, maybe. So it looks like it's flying. Yes, Eileen, I did a rolled petal with deco mesh. The replay will be available if you want to go check that out. But there's my butterfly. So I think that came out pretty cute. I'm going to probably mess around with this mesh a little bit more around the body here to make sure I like the way it's laying, but I think this came out pretty cute. And you can dazzle this up a little bit. In the tutorial I watched, she Mod Podged the middle and put black glitter on it, so it was all sparkly. I like to limit my glitter use as much as I can because it makes a big mess, but that looked really pretty too. So yeah, I think that was a fun little project. This would be so cute in like a little girl's room. It's obviously good for spring too, but I could see, you know, a little girl that likes butterflies, likes pink and purple, might like to have that hanging on her wall. The final size is about, we're just like a hair under, make sure it's straight actually, like 27 inches as far as the wingspan. And a little bit, probably shorter. Yeah, it's shorter than that this way. This way it's about, not even my whole board, so about 23, 24 inches. Yeah. So I think I might tackle some more butterflies in the future. The petal was very simple to do. I think the hardest thing would be for me, since, I mean, I bought this as a kit, so I kind of had an idea of how I was going to lay things out, because I followed what was done in the tutorial. But I think the hardest part would maybe just be if you're going to use different colors where you want to place them. But this kind of, if you wanted to follow this sort of formula, if you have 3 colors, you could certainly rewatch and do sort of the same thing that I did. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to check out the pinned post on my page for my affiliate links if you need to shop at Unique in the Creek to get the insect body or the wing board or any other supplies. Check that out. Request to see the back again. I will fix these. They won't just be sticking out. I might take the body off one more time. We'll see. But yeah, check out those affiliate links. Check out my YouTube channel. And then, of course, if you're looking for a wreath that is already completed and not needing supplies, you just want to buy something that's already done, feel free to check out my Etsy shop. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great Saturday evening. Bye.